It has been a while since I've posted any kind of trading videos, so I thought I'd share an update on how my trading is going and just share some general thoughts, observations, things I'm struggling with, etc., etc. So I have been working on refining a new strategy yet again. So that's why I haven't posted recaps, and I've actually like delisted a bunch of my older videos that were recap type videos because I'm trading pretty differently now, and I'm still trying to figure it out. I've been able to pass. I just passed today my third evaluation account, so I have 3 funded accounts now, and something that's really interesting is that having multiple accounts has been so good for psychology. Now that I have a third account, I feel like weight has been lifted off my shoulders. And it's something I've talked about before. I felt this way when I passed the second account. So I've been close to blowing the 2 accounts that I had. And I was starting to feel like pressure and nervousness and like I need another account ready to go. And then the thing is, with those feelings, I think I start making bad trading decisions because I become overprotective. I become hesitant, analysis paralysis. I question myself, no confidence in my trade analysis. So having multiple accounts has been surprisingly helpful. The other thing that's great about having multiple accounts is I can spread the risk. So one account is for the overnight session and one is for New York. I used to think that traders should only have one, just nurture one. But what I realized was that led to the things I just mentioned: hesitation, fear, analysis paralysis, etc. But having 2 allows me to protect profits from overnight if I made any, trade a different account for New York, so that the fear of giving back profits, the fear of making a green day smaller day, green day, that kind of thing is just gone. Vice versa. If I took a red overnight, the fear of having a larger red day, gone, because I'm spreading the risk across 2 accounts. Now, knowing I have another account ready on deck, I'm not worried about being overprotective of one account because I have another one ready to go. I've literally never before a month ago, been able to pass an account. Being able to pass 3 is like insane to me. Now, I have to say I did not do slow and steady. I did slow and steady for a very long time. It didn't work. It got me nowhere. It's kind of super discouraging to stay on the eval phase. Now, there's an argument that could be made that if you can't pass an eval, you can't hit the profit targets, then you're not going to be able to replicate that in funded, you're going to blow it, etc. And that's kind of true, and I do believe that generally, and that's why I never sized up previously. But with this strategy, I feel like for the first time in a while, I see like the potential. Like I see it's possible. I see that I'm right on trade ideas. I see that I could hit the profit targets based on my past trades and everything. So I just decided that I'm going to size heavy. I saw, this might be bad, but like the trading creators, internet traders, I call them, that are like making a lot spend a lot. I don't think they all say how much they're spending, but that's something that I realized is like, to make money, you need to spend money, right? And I know that generally, but like the people who are making thousands, they're like also spending thousands on evals, and they're passing quick. Like they don't want to be stuck in that phase. They want to be in that place of being working towards making money. And I don't know, in June, there was a point at the end of June, I just decided I'm going to adopt that mindset, at least for a week or 2. We'll see how it goes. Obviously, I don't want to burn a hole in my pocket doing this, but I was willing to kind of full port in order to pass evaluations. So on the accounts that I have, they're 2-day pass, 50% consistency. So what I did was I adjusted the take profits. I set my stop such that I would basically blow it if I took a loss. And I set a smaller take profit that was reasonable for my trades, with the goal of passing in 2 trades. And that's what I did. That's what I did for all of the accounts that I passed. I think I had to reset an account twice. And it feels so much better knowing that I'm working towards something now. Anyways, definitely not recommended for newbies, beginners who are still learning, who are still finding their strategy, their edge. Advice is, it's not advice, but it's just my experience. That's what I've decided to do. I've got 3 funded accounts now, which feels really good. And I'm trying to pass one more. However, that one is dedicated to gold and it's probably going to take a while. Wins are a lot larger. Like, it's possible if I got lucky, I could pass in a few trades. I only trade Asia. I don't get into a trade every night. So that one is just going to take longer. All right. And then besides that, I'm not trying to pass anymore as far as MES goes. I think I'm good with 3. Now, that being said, I have not been able to get a payout. I've been trading these accounts for almost a month, 2 of them. I think 4 weeks on one and 3 on the other. And if it wasn't for having 2, I probably would have blown it because I just went on losing streaks. All right, so here's my P&L calendar for the first account that I got. So I started off right off the bat, starting strong. I have $1,000 drawdown, so over $600 in drawdown. And then I crawled myself out of that. I took a few wins, went, back-to-back losses again. And then last week, I was very close to blowing it. I was probably 1 loss away. And this week, I had lost nearly every single trade I placed. I think I only won 1. That was between Asia and New York. I won 1 trade. And I took a massive hit to my confidence and my trade analysis. And it was just so weird because when I passed the account, even though there were still things I realized I had to fix and do better at, based off my stats, I just thought I just need to keep doing what I'm doing and I'll get there in time. I don't have bad habits. I really don't think I do. I have rules. I have discipline rules. I have max loss rules. I don't take random setups. I don't trade when I'm bored. I don't go for more. I don't do any of those things. And that's part of the reason that for me being successful in trading, it's been so frustrating because I don't do these things that everyone on the internet says you need to stop doing in order to be successful, and yet I'm not successful. But anyways, I literally never put the account into profit. The peak balance on this account, $84. That is the most I've been able to get this account into profit. And then I pretty much went very heavy in drawdown. So this week, I decided I had to scale back to 1 micro. To 2 micros on a 25K is kind of risky with how much I risk. It's not a lot of drawdown. I risk kind of a lot. It's not a lot of drawdown. I could only take 5 losses in a row and then it's gone. And I probably came very close to that last week. So I just scaled back to 1 micro this week and I decided I need to just crawl myself out of drawdown and work on my analysis. I realized something is missing in my analysis. So that's what I decided, to work on and to build my confidence in my setups. So I did a lot of analyzing, reviewing my past trades, all my screenshots and everything. And This week has been my best week, I mean, in a very long time. So Sunday night, I had a long entry. I didn't take it because I wasn't home. I wasn't home to place my order. I missed the entry, which got tagged right at the open, but it was a winning trade. So missing out on wins kind of sucks because I feel like I really need them. And then last night, I was a little hesitant. I had like a short idea, decided not to do it, but it did win. So seeing my trade ideas, whether I took them or not, work this week, and then Monday night and Tuesday night were right also, has been definitely a boost to my confidence in my trading. But I also wonder, is it luck? Is it, okay, this week, the trade setups that I've seen work before, they're just working this week and they didn't last week, like, I'm not sure, but I do feel like it's kind of weird seeing pretty much all my trade ideas work out. I'll pull up the second account in a moment. I mean, it basically looks the same. It's not that different. A couple issues that kept coming up in my trading, and it's really interesting because I don't feel like they're things that get talked about in the trading community, in these trading videos about how to get better and everything, like, at all. One, I was getting edged. So I use limit orders. I was getting edged constantly, almost every single trading session, both Asia and New York for a few weeks there. Every single trading session, almost, I was getting edged anywhere from like 2 ticks, or once it was 1 tick, to like 3 points, and then seeing it move in my favor. And I was tired. I was super annoyed with it because the problem is, in a series of wins and losses, right? If I don't get those wins, I only get the losses. And then obviously my equity curve is downward because it's just losses. Even it doesn't matter that the idea was right if I don't capture that win, right? It's just not helpful. And it's interesting because most people say, like, it's better to let a trade go or whatever, move on to the next one if you're not unsure, blah, blah, blah. But like, that just wasn't the case for me. I needed those wins. So part of missing out on those wins was that I had to come in either at a higher or lower price. Like, what I was doing was I was being sort of conservative. So I would have a series of levels across multiple different confluences, whatever. And I would be more conservative. Like, I would, especially when I used a smaller stop, I would want to be lower. I'd want to see price come to this more conservative area and then miss it. And what I realized was that I had to be able to withstand a more of a drawdown, larger drawdown, in order to get into those winning trades. Trading is so much about forcing yourself to do what is uncomfortable in order to get better. You're constantly having to stretch your comfort zone. So that was something for me. I was uncomfortable having to withstand, having to, stomach potentially a larger drawdown in order to get in earlier and actually get in the trade. Sometimes it means I'm in early, and actually it stopped. And then the second problem was that if I wasn't edged, I was in too early, and then I would lose conviction. So there would be days where I know I'm looking for a short, especially like in New York. And I'll be like, the only thing I'm looking for is a short in this area. But I get stopped on the first attempt. And then I'm like, oh, I guess that wasn't good. Like, that was a bad analysis. Maybe I should have been looking long. I start second guessing. I question myself. And I had to pretty much create a rule for myself that says if I get stopped, I have to enter again. And if I had done that there's multiple days where I would have actually caught the move and turned a red day into a green day. That's not always the case, of course, but a lot of the times it was. So that was the second problem, was getting over my, losing conviction in my trade analysis, getting over my fear of trying again. And I basically I had to create a rule. Got to do it again. And this is another way how having 2 accounts is so helpful. I have a max 2 loss rule. So I could lose twice on a trade idea and be done. It kind of sucks that it's on the same trade idea, but I generally only have 1 or 2 trade ideas for the session anyway. If I take a red in Asia with 1 account, and then I took a red in New York, I would be too scared, or it would break my rule to try again. But separating the accounts, I can now take that second attempt on the second account, and I wouldn't be breaking my 2 loss rule. So those are just a couple things that were actually like really big problems for me that I feel like are kind of uncommon, not talked about, but they're part of the journey of trading in that, like, figuring out what is wrong, finding out like understanding why it makes you uncomfortable, and then fixing it. I have not been edged. Probably been 2 weeks. Probably 2 weeks. I've been forcing myself to come in higher, come in lower, even if there's only one like confluence for a level. I'm forcing myself to come in higher, and I've been able to get into more trades that way. Okay, here's the second account. So it's really not any better than the other one. The max balance, $42. Holy smokes. All right, let's take a look here. So 1, 2, 3 weeks I've been trading this one. Just like the other one, started off red. I mean, a few green days sprinkled in here. So every trade I took last week was wrong. And again, this week I had to scale back to 1 micro, and I was right Monday, Tuesday, didn't take a trade Wednesday. Today, what's interesting about today is it did hit my first TP, and because I'm only trading with 1 contract, it was my only TP. But if I was trading with 2, it actually did not hit my second. So this was the one trade this week where not both TPs were hit. I don't have like strict rules yet about, do I move to break even after my first? I don't know. If I was trading 2 contracts, this actually could have been a lower day. But anyway, so I feel like I'm in a little bit of a twilight. Like between this and then the 2 trades from Asia, I'm like shocked. Like I've never had that many green days in a row. So this account is less than $200 in drawdown now. It was, I got to the point where I only had $300 of drawdown left. That was the lowest point. So I've got it from 342 to 807. So this account is at a point now where I could go back to 2 micros. My plan was actually to switch like yesterday, Wednesday. But I decided to just stay with 1 because the setups I've been taking, I don't feel like they've been hard. I feel like they're setups I've seen before. Like I know I was looking for them. I felt really good about them. It's the setups that are different, I haven't seen before. I don't feel confident in, like, I don't know. I also feel like I'm on some kind of weird good luck streak or something, and so I sort of don't trust it. But I could afford to. Like, I could afford to go back to 2 micros. 1 win would put this account into profit. The thing with 2 is that it allows me to have much larger green days. It allows me to just get more juice out of my wins, which is so important to me. Something I've kind of moved towards is higher reward trades, because my win rate, for as long as I've been trading, it doesn't matter what I do, is like 40% or less. It's maybe been higher this week, but like to be consistently 50% has been impossible for me. Absolutely impossible. So I realize I need larger green days to make up for my losses. So that's why I started trading with 2 TPs, which is something that was recommended to me, and it has been helpful. Unfortunately, the 25K just can't withstand a long losing streak with how much I risk with 2 micros. Something that's definitely frustrating now is like being able to see the potential but not be able to like have it for myself. I feel like my trading is like, it's like a series of losers followed by a series of winners, and then that cycle just repeats. And when I get an account, I just start off on a losing streak, put myself in drawdown, as seen by both of these accounts. So I put myself in drawdown, and then I get a series of winners. I can like crawl myself out, but by the time I crawl myself out, I get the series of losers again, and I'm back in drawdown. And this is like just going back and forth. Never able to get above 0. I mean, you saw my max profit was like $82 or something. And it feels like if I could switch it, like if I could start off on a winning streak, I could then like withstand that loss streak. But it's like, I don't know, it's like I just can't seem to get it. This week, for example, I was right on my Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday night trades. If I had a fresh account and I had entered into all those trades, if I was home Sunday night to place my order, I would have hit the profit target in 3 days and then gotten a payout. So like I see it's possible, but I can't seem to get it. I can't seem to have it. And same thing with my New York trades. If I was trading 2 contracts because it was a new account, I wasn't in heavy drawdown, I would have a payout. And it's super frustrating to see like I am doing the right things, I think, but it's still just not happening. I don't know. It's just interesting. It's just, that's my experience. I'm just sharing what I'm observing, how the way I see it and the way I experience it. I'm sure I'm not alone with some of these things I'm talking about. I feel like I'm talking about things that aren't normally talked about in the trading space. Like they're not your typical problems, but they're real things that are coming up for me, and I'm sure I'm not alone. So anyway, that's my update. It's not much of one, but to be honest, passing accounts, it is a huge accomplishment for me, even though I kind of sized heavy. I don't care. Getting to this phase and being able to work towards something now is really good for me. I don't know. I think it's really good, and I'm happy about it. I hope your trading is going well. If you're struggling, if you're having a hard time, if you feel like you're in some weird twilight zone, you're on the wrong side of probability, the wrong side of the light cycle is how I say it. You are not alone. You're not weird. If you feel like you're having issues no one else is talking about, you're not alone. You're not weird. If there's anything that's been hindering your trading, let me know in the comments. And yeah, I will catch you in the next video.